What's up, my friends? It's Edward Tomilloso, Internet Sales Manager at Honda of Santa Maria, your Honda man. And today I have my hands on the 2016 Honda Civic Coupe Touring. And it's the highest trim. And right now I'm going to do a review of the vehicle as well as a full test drive. So come along. Like most people, after the 9th generation of Honda Civics, I have been really excited for this new 10th gen, especially the Coupe. Taking a look at it, the side profile, it definitely has a very, very aggressive look to it. And I know that is something that a lot of people say when there's a whole new redesign, but it's really true. The way that they did that was they made the headroom in the back a little bit thinner just to accent how far out these rear quarter panels go, just so that your stance is a lot wider in appearance. The vehicle overall is an inch shorter, and it does boast the same wheelbase as the sedan. So you still get that comfortable ride and control, but here's where they switched it up a little bit. On the back, it is 5 inches shorter than the sedan, which kind of sacrifices a little bit of trunk space. You lose about 3 cubic feet, but you can still fit a small adult in the back. I had Johnny get inside in the trunk. It was hilarious. Right now. Continuing with the appearance, you do get these 17-inch alloy wheels. They are totally different than the EXL models, which I did review in the last video. So definitely check that out if you are comparing the top trim to the EXL. But these are definitely stylish. It comes with the brushed aluminum look with the piano black powder coated inlay. Definitely a great look. Another thing that sets the Touring apart that no other Civic has is the chrome door handles. They continued that along the top with the chrome as well as on the side mirrors. You have chrome as well as turn signal indicators, which I think is a really great touch. I like the look of the chrome all the way to the top as well as to the turn signal indicator. Super nice. I dig it. Let's move along to the back, shall we? I really dig the back of this car. Right now, you will notice you do have that stretch across bar that Honda incorporated in the Coupe. There is definitely no mistaking this car when you are following it on the highway. It will catch eyes, it'll turn heads. As soon as people start seeing these out in the market, they're gonna come see them at Honda dealerships, so that's definitely coming. You do have the Touring badging here. Another thing that I noticed that Honda did with the brake lights, they also included a brake light near the roof of the vehicle. I definitely think it adds to the presence. Moving down, it does have dual exhaust because this is the 1.5 liter turbo. There is no Touring available with a 2 liter, so it's definitely nice. Talking about the engine really quick, I know I'm in the back, but I usually talk about this when I'm in the front. But it does give you 174 horsepower, red lines at 6,500 RPM. Compared to the sedan, the Coupe gets 1 mile per gallon less on the highway. So you get 41 miles per gallon on the highway versus the 42 on the sedan. But all the other measurements are the same. Of course, just to point out a couple exterior features, you do get a moonroof as well as a capless fuel filler. Moving along the front, you do get a very sedan feel for the 2016 Coupe. They did keep everything pretty much from the glass forward the same as the sedans. You do have a wide flat hood, which I really dig that look. And just as a disclosure, I did buy a Civic sedan myself, the EXL. I'm loving it. I love the style on the front. I love this stretch across chrome that actually ends above the headlights. I think it ties it together really well. I dig this matte black finish that they included right here, just below the Honda emblem. It makes it look super sharp, creates nice contrast, especially on this color, which by the way is the Orchid White Pearl. One thing I do want to mention while I am out here is it does have rain sensing wipers, which is something I haven't experienced personally yet. I just know it has it. I can't wait till California gets some rain and I really get to take this out and test it for you guys. The last thing before we take this out on the test drive is this vehicle does have remote start. Here's what your remote looks like. All you have to do is push the lock button twice until you hear the beep, and then you push and hold the remote start button, and after about 5 to 7 seconds, starts right up. All right, now let's take it for a test drive. Oh, this car is so cool. I really think it has like this just cool factor. Just being in a coupe, I feel like style really wins. One of the things that I found out recently is one of the reasons they didn't put power seats in the coupes on any trim level is it's just easier to get into the back without all the electronics on the vehicle. So just as a side note, that's why they didn't put power seats on this vehicle. Of course, so let me just talk about a couple things that for sure you have. You do have a lane watch system. You do have the brake hold system on this vehicle as well. You also have Honda's sensing package, which is a suite of kind of safety features, which I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate right now. But the way that it works is there is a camera mounted right behind the rear view mirror, as well as a sensor right next to the fog light that scans the road ahead, looking forward for dangers, for keeping you in the same lane, and you also have that adaptive cruise control in this suite of tools. So it's constantly looking at the road ahead, making sure that you stay safe when you drive. So we'll take a look at that. We'll try out the adaptive cruise control. There's also what's known as a low speed follow, which is really interesting. In stop and go traffic, this vehicle can actually start and stop for you, which is legit. One of the things I didn't mention while I was outside as well was that this vehicle does have LED lights for the headlights, so they're really piercing when it's dark outside. So let's try out the adaptive cruise control. All you have to do is hit set, and now I'm actually behind a vehicle, and if I set my cruise control to like even 90 miles an hour and that car is going 60, it will hold me to that speed depending on what I set my distance to be. So right now there is a car in front of us, and I'm holding a 2 car length distance or so behind it, and I don't have to do anything. My feet are off. It actually has a lane keep assist as well. So this is literally, to me, it's a lazy car for sure, and I kind of like that. So if I start to veer out of a lane without turning on my turn signal, the vehicle will catch it, and there'll be like a little pulse in the steering wheel. I don't know if you guys were able to see that, but my steering wheel kind of adjusted to make sure that I stay right in the middle of my lane. Like I mentioned when I was outside, I did purchase an EXL Civic. I didn't get the sensing package, but if you're considering it, it's definitely worth that extra grand to get it. Speaking of grand, this car is actually priced at $26,960, and that is with destination. So all of these features that you get are definitely reasonably priced. I mean, if you look at all of the features that it has, I mean, it all adds up. There's that lane sensing again, that lane departure warning. It just warned me again that I'm starting to drift. But it still tells you, like, steering is required. You can't just take your hands off and, you know, let it do its thing. You have to still be focused. And that's the idea behind this suite of tools, is nothing's gonna replace humans as of now. You definitely have to stay focused. There's no self-driving cars yet that are out there for consumers already. So, but I'm really excited for that time though. I really can't wait until we're sitting there, reading a book, taking a nap, and all of a sudden you end up at your destination 4 hours away. That would be awesome. So there you go. That was the demonstration of the adaptive cruise control. Now, let's see about the the low speed follow. All right, so I have the low speed follow on. If that car actually brakes in front of us, it will stop. So that's really interesting. See, that car's going super slow. My cruise control is set at 26 miles an hour and we came to a complete stop. Now that it's gone out of the way, I have to apply the brakes myself because I'm at a stoplight or a stop sign. Back to performance. This turbo definitely does not have much lag, which in my opinion is really nice. I mean, I can't even tell that there's a delay. All right, let's try this low speed follow again. I'm setting my cruise control to 45. That car is probably going 35. And there's a stoplight ahead. And the car is actually slowing down for me because that car is actually starting to put on its brakes. It's gonna come to a complete stop. See that? Look at this. My foot's not even on the brake and it's stopping for me. I love it. Look at that. Complete stop. And I didn't have to do anything. So legit. So let's talk about this display. You have a 7-inch display on the Civic Touring, and it does give you navigation automatically, and that is a Garmin-based system, which is very, very responsive, really quick to load. I'm really happy with the system. One thing that I like to point out is when you look around, there's actually icons for all these different things that you can want to see. So Jack in the Box has its own little icon. Chevron has its own little icon. That's pretty cool. So it's easy to identify really quick, so you don't really have to sit there and analyze while you're driving. This definitely has a different suspension compared to the sedan. It's a little more sporty, and that's exactly what you would expect from a coupe. And really quick, I'll address this too, is a lot of people ask why there's lane watch on one side, the right side, and not on the left side. The engineers at Honda actually found it counterintuitive to look in the middle of your screen when you're making a left turn. So I hope that answers that question if you're wondering why there isn't a camera on this side as well. And in terms of comfort, you do have heated seats. You also have dual climate control as well on the Touring. This display right here is really nice. It shows you a bunch of your different options, shows you your nav, it shows you what your turbo is doing. It also shows you your miles till empty, all that cool stuff. Going back to that lane departure warning, it is not a strong enough force to where you can't override it. So if you really wanted to get into the next lane without turning on your turn signal and you wanted to be that guy, you still could be that guy. It also still has that brake hold feature. So once you activate brake hold and you come to a complete stop, you can take your foot off the brake and just relax until it's time to move on. One thing about that brake hold system that's really nice is if you're like at a mailbox or a drive-through, you don't really have to babysit the brake. It's kind of nice. That feature is available on all trim levels, Civic Coupes or Civic sedans. Another thing you get is a one-touch moonroof, and you get a 10-speaker system on this car, and the sound system is really awesome. So if you have a chance to check one of these out, definitely mess with the radio. In terms of how quiet the vehicle is, Honda did do some reductions with the weather stripping, with the acoustic glass. They've really done a great job at cutting down the noise over the previous generation. In terms of the space inside, more legroom, headroom, hip room than the outgoing generation as well. So if you're used to the 2015 and you're wanting to look into the 2016, just know that you will have more space on the interior. One thing I did want to mention with the Apple CarPlay, it's really cool. It works even if you have one of those smartphone cases. Like if you have an Apple and you have like a Mophie or an external battery pack type of case, it will still work. So it's actually like the Android plugin on my iPhone, and it still translates everything beautifully. I was wondering if I needed to use a lightning cable, so if that's one of the things that you're thinking about, then just to let you know, you can do that. There is also available wireless charging for the Civic as well. If you get the iPhone version, you would need a special case for it. But if you have an Android with the wireless charging capabilities, that will work. It is an accessory that you can get installed on the vehicle. I believe in Canada it comes standard. Might as well touch on this as well in terms of what Canada gets and what we don't. I believe Canada does come with paddle shifters, but no turn signal, no lane watch. So that's really interesting to me. Speaking of paddle shifters, 2017, there will be a manual transmission available on the 1.5 liter turbo, which is really exciting. Can't wait for that to come out. I guess the Type R and the SI are being pushed back. I think we're still getting the SI this year, but the Type R will be reserved for 2017. And we are getting a hatchback before the end of the year, which is super exciting. In terms of safety, the 2016 Honda Civic is expected to get 5-star crash test ratings, as well as that Top Safety Pick Plus award, just like they did in 2015. And then going back to the interface here, I did hear that Honda has been listening to what people have been saying about no physical knobs, and I have a feeling that they are listening and they will include that for the 2017 model. So if that is a consideration, you're like, I really want a knob, you might want to wait till the next model comes out, but that is purely speculation. But I have a good feeling that it is going to happen to where there will be a physical knob. Because currently what you do have is this touchscreen for your volume controls. You just swipe up. It's not the most responsive thing. Can be a little bit cumbersome, but you do have a sliding volume on your steering wheel. You just swipe it up or down to get your volume. And one of the things that I ran into kind of owning this vehicle now for a few weeks is when I do make a turn, sometimes I will accidentally hit that button and lower my volume when I didn't mean to, or raise my volume when I didn't mean to. So that's one of the things that you'd want to consider as well. But this is pretty much close to the end of my test drive. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I try to get to all of them, but I get a lot of comments. But hopefully, one of you guys can answer some of those questions if I can't get to them. But I appreciate your time. I'm glad you're able to come along with me on this test drive. And hopefully it helped you out if you are considering the 2016 Honda Civic Touring Coupe. If it did, leave your comments below as well. I'd love seeing that. But again, thank you for stopping by and watching this. Again, if you are in the market to buy a Honda and you are here on the central coast of California, look me up. I work at Honda of Santa Maria. I actually sell vehicles, so I can help you purchase your car. Ooh, last but not least, you do get a multi-angle backup camera. So you have a normal view, top-down view, as well as a wide-angle view. I love that wide-angle view. It shoots almost 180 degrees. So like if you are at a supermarket or anything like that, and you're pulling out and you're in between like two big cars, you'll still be able to see carts, kids, anything that could be passing your way. But anyway, again, thank you guys for watching. Hope this helped out. If you have any questions, again, leave your comments below. And if you want to see a more detailed view of the EXL trim level, I'll leave the link right there. But again, I'll catch you guys later. Edward, your Honda man. See you on the next one.